Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Spy Family Season 3 Episode 9 reaction. So the previous episode, we were able to get away from that situation, the whole hostage situation that was ongoing. Billy, the leader of Red Circus, we get to know his past, what happened to his daughter, and like why he took up this whole thing and became the leader and started like this type of a terrorist thing. And yeah, we get to know that how unfortunate his daughter's death was, how she was just doing like a normal, like a peaceful protest, but the government, yeah, so all those things we got to know. Billy was able to kind of see a little bit of her daughter in Anya, when Anya kind of stood against him and showed her bravery. In the end, he surrendered, and things kind of went smoothly from that point onwards. There was a little bit of hiccup after that, and one of the other guys from the Red Circus tried to take Anya and run, but we had Becky's butler came in and saved her, and things went well. I thought Yor was going to get involved, but surprisingly, Yor actually didn't get involved at all. She did get the information that something weird is going on. Like the bus is not back. She was kind of worried about that, but she didn't get involved in this whole situation at all. Things got resolved without Lloyd or Yor interfering, which was a surprise. I was not expecting that. But either way, yeah, that's what happened. So let's see what happens today. Let us begin. I'll be putting subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference. Let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, they're getting Stellar. Makes sense. Because technically it was their bravery that saved the situation. Okay. Yes. Hmm. I think they should get at least 3 Stellas for that. Like, come on, this is a hostage situation. 1 Stella, why? There's a whole life and death situation. Okay, man. At least 3 Stellas should have been, like issued to them. God damn it. Or a Stella and a Tornitas Bolt gets deducted from them. Well, people who don't have Tornitas Bolt, they wouldn't have benefited from that. But Anya has two of them, right? Or does she have one? I don't remember. She got one recently. I'm trying to remember if she had one before that. Did she have a one before that? I cannot remember. Anya's era has come. Yeah. Yeah. Well, obviously, like, right. Oh, okay. That's yeah. That is, they're kids. You cannot really involve them in this whole thing, bruh. Hmm. I said, this is fake. Right. Yep. There you go. Hmm. Right. Oh. Hmm. Bruh. Melinda or well, she has an advantage, but Mm. Battle of friendship schemes. She remembered. She's like, oh yeah, that's yeah. Right. Oh my god. It's like, oh, because we're besties. Yeah, that's what you think. Wow, you got demoted again. Well, I'm pretty sure. Nah, yours is coming. Yeah. Ah, there she is. Oh my god. He ran here. Right. Hmm. Yeah, even though she knew, like, she had an advantage, she can listen to other people. Still, she's a kid. Oh my god. Oh my, they're here. Right. Okay. Yeah, like I said, like Lloyd immediately got information. Yeah, he cannot just show his face here. Yeah, there you go. Like I said, I thought that Melinda's probably here, but she's not showing herself. Oh, there you go. Yeah, nobody knew what was going on. It's like Anki. Hmm. Hey, chill. As soon as they bring up the father's name, oh my god. What the hell? Okay, so she has more. Okay, you know what? Okay, I understand. I was not completely correct. I said this before. I was like, yeah, she probably cannot express her feelings properly. That's half of. Okay. Okay, I'll talk about this later in the discussion section. Right. Right. Hmm. Yeah, what? What type of songs? Oh my god, you. Oh god. Yeah. Hmm. She's thinking about Melinda. How she. Not only Melinda, but dad as well. Yeah, I think okay, as soon as he brought up her dad's name, his dad's name, she reacted like that. This happened before as well, in front of your. Yeah. All right. Wow. Oh yeah, he got a lot of trauma over that. Oh no. Hmm. Yeah, they'll probably like start keeping bodyguards and stuff in. Oh, mm, damn. Okay. Oh, damn. Oh, oh, because he stood up to everyone. Yeah, in front of everyone. Savior. Oh, it's for everyone. Okay. Like all four of them. Everyone's just like Anya the hero. All right. Yeah. Yeah. She's like, wait a minute. This is something different. Am I? Is it finally? Yo, this is so funny. I remember Kazuma in Konosuba saying the same thing in one of the episodes. Kazuma's like my popular face. I think it was a movie, right? Yeah. Crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, what? If I become a commoner? Alright. Bruh. Bruh. These kids need education. There are risks. They have no idea what commoners are doing. Alright, no, stop. No. Well, his mother actually cooked for him today, so you know. Yeah. I'm spicy. Yeah. Wow, the mental gymnastics. Oh no. Nah, this scheme is too convoluted. It's too confusing. Oh wow. But I don't think that will work here, right? Because yeah, because they're supposed to. Yeah, you don't. Wow. Yeah, the peanuts bag. Oh my god. Wow. Yeah, you. Yeah. Yeah, she's not wrong at that. Oh, this is going for actually according to plan. Yeah. You guys don't need to go to class? What's happening here? Wow. Yeah. Okay. Bruh. Yeah, that's what you. Okay, that's the conclusion you came to? Right. Cake! Yay! Right. Yeah. There you go. Right, let's go. Alright, you guys will be late now. Mr. Henderson is going to take away both the Stella that they gave you. Alright. And there you go. That was today's episode. Okay, so today we had the aftermath of the whole situation with the Red Circus. You know, all the parents came to take back the children, back to their homes, and all that stuff happened. We saw what happens after that. Now, a few things to talk about in this episode. First and foremost, let's talk about the most, I guess you could say, intriguing part of today's episode. That is Melinda. So Melinda's situation is very interesting. Here's the thing. When she was introduced, I said that she's probably someone who is not able to express her affections for Damien. That is why, because of that, she's asking Yor about how he's doing at school, all that stuff. Because if you're genuinely not interested in someone, you wouldn't ask about them. So that's why she is concerned about Damien, but she is not sure how to express that. And probably because of how Damien's father, how he, okay, you know what, I always forget his name. What's his name? Donovan, right? Let me, just a minute. Yeah, Donovan. Donovan Desmond. So how, like the reason why she's not able to express her affection for Damien is probably because of Donovan, because Donovan kind of treats Damien in a certain way, like very strict, very like professional wise, like not a father and child type of relationship. You can see kind of, so because of that, I feel like if his mother tries to show affection for Damien, maybe he told something to her like, oh, don't treat him like that, treat him with more strictly or something. And that's the conclusion I came to. And I said that it's probably because of that she is acting like this. I also mentioned how in that episode, when Yor talked about, like, brought up Donovan's name, she reacted in a very weird way. Like her personality took a quick shift. So that wasn't really that clear to me. I thought it was that she's just like pissed off and not really happy about him or something like that, I thought. But it seems like it's a bigger problem here. So in this episode, you can see obviously she comes in and she's like concerned about Damien, and she's like, oh, like like, are you okay, this and that. Damien's crying, and Damien's like, oh, like I thought you wouldn't come. And she's like, oh, why did you think that? Obviously I'm going to come. And when Anya was reading her mind, she could hear that she was like very concerned about Damien, and like kind of like doting on him and everything. And then Damien's like, please don't tell father that I was crying. And this is where the switch flips. Her face takes an abrupt shift. Her inner thoughts also take an abrupt shift, which was the weirdest part of this section. So okay, so here we go. She's like, now when Anya's reading her mind, she's saying, I shouldn't have come here. And then she's saying, of course I won't tell him. And make sure you absolutely do not tell your father that I was here. Okay. If only he had died in that bus jacking. So there's one part of her which is like, oh, like, Damien, like, like, I was so concerned about you, I was so worried about you. And then there was the other part who's like, oh, I don't care about you. I can't stand the sight of you. Can't you just leave on your own already? Once we get home, I'll cook something. It's been ages. Oh, she did say that. Once you go home, I'll cook you something. It's not say that, but in her head she was thinking. If only he were gone, okay. You're my treasure, you're my curse. Right, so here we go. So from this scene, what I could understand is that okay, so I feel like she actually has some sort of a multiple personality disorder. Because, like, here's the thing. It's one thing to have not really multiple personality disorder in that sense, but I feel like, because like a lot of people have like two different types of thoughts about a common thing. It is possible you can, like, about a certain thing, you might, like, like have a certain thought process about it and have the complete opposite thought process about it as well at the same time, but it's more subtle. Like, not like this is like a clear demarcation between the two types of feelings she has for Damien, which is why I said that this seems like some sort of a disorder, like a multiple personality disorder or something. But I don't think it's a multiple personality disorder. It is probably something not like that, but it's still like her thought is so like demarcated cleanly that it's a bit weird, I would say. Because like I said, people do not have this sort of a demarcation and this sort of a crazy difference between the two types of thought process. For example, let's say something, what can I say? For example, let's say, like, like one of your friends, for example, you have a friend that you like very much, but at the same time there's a lot of things about that person that you don't like. So, like sometimes you are very happy, and sometimes you're kind of pissed off, about that person, and it happens. But this like and dislike thing is more subtle, I would say. Like the boundary between it is more subtle, I would say. It's like how, when you try to mix two color, like for example yellow and red, for example, in the middle part both the colors kind of fade out and mix more nicely in a more like in a more subtle way, in a more like better way. Like it looks like, oh, it has properly mixed. Like both the other sides are red and yellow, but the middle part where both are mixing, it takes a different sort of a color because it's a mixture of the two. That is usually how I think people's thought process goes about a certain thing which they like and dislike at the same time. Like some things that they like, some things that they dislike. Melinda's thought about Damien is not like that. Melinda's more like there's a clear boundary between the red and the yellow part, and there's like a clear boundary between it. It doesn't mix. The red and the yellow part doesn't mix here. The positive and the negative thoughts of Damien that she has doesn't mix subtly. It's very sharp. The demarcation is extremely sharp. It's I hate you or I love you. It's that sharp. That is weird. That's why that's why I'm thinking this is like some sort of a disorder, because I don't think this is how people's thoughts go. Like not like this sharp of a demarcation. I don't know. Because like one part of her is saying that, oh, I hope you died, and the other part is of her is saying like, oh, I was so worried. This is weird. Like nobody thinks like that. Like I said, like, so that's why I'm thinking now the reason behind it, I think it is Donovan, because this happened again as soon as Donovan's name came up. When Damon was like, oh, don't tell father, bam, there's some sort of switch flipped. In your situation as well, I'm pretty sure you're brought up Donovan, right? In that episode, when I don't remember. I need to go back to that episode again. When her personality took a abrupt shift. Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. I think this is what yours said, as far as I can remember. That, oh, you are Donovan's wife or something like that, right? Like I think something like that she said, or like I don't exactly remember, but I'm pretty sure she brought up some way or the other. She brought up Donovan in that conversation, and that is why like Melinda's like its attitude took such an abrupt shift in that episode as well. So it's definitely something to do with Donovan. Now, what I think, why she's acting like this in front of Damien, I cannot really say anything unless and until I'm able to see more of what she thinks about. Like, I need to see her and her husband in the same place. Then it'll be extremely clear what is going on. How she acts in front of her husband will be a clear indication as to what the hell is going on here. Or maybe like not her husband, maybe his like his other son, like her like Damien's brother. Even if there's Damien's brother in front of her, like her attitude with him, against him, or against Donovan is going to be a big hint for us to understand whether Donovan is the main source of problem. I think it is him. But like why this much, that I am still not able to understand, because the thing is, like I said, this is very extreme. And since it is so extreme, it's not normal. Can you imagine someone saying, especially for your against your own child, someone thinking that, oh, I hope you should have died in that hijacking. She said that, right, in this episode. But at the same time, she's saying, I was so concerned about you. That is very extreme. That's like two end of the spectrum. And that's why it makes it so weird and abnormal. So that's why I'm trying to think, like what made, like what even happened, or what is going on that she has this extreme of a thought process on both ends of the spectrum. Like obviously, like her concern and worry is something that is very normal. That is not weird, because she's a mother. She's concerned about her son. But the other part, the other spectrum, where she was like, oh, I hope you should have died in the hijacking, that one is too extreme, and that one is extremely weird. And like I said, since both the thought process exist in her head, it's so contradictory that there's something definitely weird going on inside of her head. Like like nobody has this much of a, I don't know, like varied opinion about a certain thing or person. It's either like, oh, I'm very concerned about you, or I hope you should have died. Like both these two thought processes are in her head at the same moment, and she's feeling both these thoughts, both these emotions. So yeah. Right. So yeah, I think obviously it is definitely something related to Donovan. Um, but like, but my question is, what exactly? Like, why this much? Hmm. Okay. Yeah, you know what? We don't have much information. I'll have to wait a little bit more and get more information on her to understand why it is to this extreme. Like, she's thinking, I love you, Damien, and then at the same time, she's thinking, you are my curse. So, right. Now, from her conversation, there's one thing I can kind of say. She, the fact that she's concerned about Damien is something that she doesn't want Donovan to know. Because she makes him promise that, oh, you're not going to tell your father I came here. You know, or she doesn't want, yeah, something like that. She just, mm, right. Yeah, it okay. You know what? Like I think like whatever is going on, it's obviously it's connected to Damien, because because she's Damien is her child. I think like it's probably because how Donovan is like trying to make Damien into a certain way. Melinda probably doesn't, because you see, you've seen Donovan is trying to make Damien into a certain, like like he regulates everything, like he's like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to be better, you have to this and that. So like something like that. And that's why maybe he doesn't want Melinda to interfere in his son's, like upbringing. And maybe he has told that to Melinda. That's why Melinda never really showed her affection to Damien, but she is a mother, so she is still worried. And maybe that's why she said that, don't tell your father that I came here, because she doesn't want him to know that she came here because she was concerned about Damien, or something like that, I think. something is going on. So these few things I'm completely confirmed about. um Number one, it is definitely Donovan who's the problem here, who's the main source of problem here, why she's acting like this. That's number one. Number two, um Melinda doesn't want Donovan to know that she came here. That means like she's involved with Damien, or she came in contact with Damien. That Donovan probably doesn't want Melinda to do. So that's why all the secrecy, and she acts like a complete stranger to his son because of that. These two I'm pretty confirmed that these two are one of the reasons. Now, a few other things we'll have to wait and see. Get to see more of Melinda to understand why. Like the question, why is it so extreme? Like, oh, I'm very much worried about you, or oh, you should have died. Why is it so extreme on both ends? Her feelings about Damien. That, to understand that, we need more information, I think. Right. But anyways, that was Melinda. That part was like, I feel like the most shocking part of today's episode. Like, I was not expecting that. Like that abrupt of a, yeah. Now, other than that, a few other things happened here. First and foremost, obviously, Anya's, like Yor comes in as soon as she could, and Anya then breaks down from them because, like I said, obviously she could hear the thoughts of the Red Circus members, but at the end of the day, she's still a kid. How old is she? 5, I think, or something. I maybe not 5. I think she was 5 at the beginning of the show, right? She probably. Oh no, I think she's still 5. Yeah, she's still 5. She's still in year 1, right, or something like that. I don't know. So yeah, like a kid of that age, if you are confronted with hijackers in front of you, threatening you to blow you up with bombs and pointing a gun at you, it doesn't matter if you are like, I don't know, like some sort of a, like an adult, like like a 50 or 60-year adult. Even they would get PTSD from that. So Anya obviously got very much rattled by that. Not only Anya, everyone got, but Anya was more, Anya and Damien got more trauma, I guess you could say, because they were directly like threatened with a bomb. Now, like I said, Anya did know it was fake, which Damien didn't know, but still, she's still a kid. Now, if you think about it like that, I would say Damien has more nerves of steel because he was completely oblivious of the fact that, like that was actually not a bomb. Now, Anya knew about it, that's why it kind of like made her a little bit more calmer. Damien had no idea about that. And on top of that, without that knowledge, she actually offered to take the bomb from Anya on him. So I would say definitely Damien is probably the one who has the most courage here and the most nerves of steel. Anya, definitely not Anya. Anya knew about a lot of things. That's why it kind of calmed her down. But yeah, Damien is definitely the one who is the most courageous, I would say, because he was completely oblivious to everything, and he volunteered himself to take the bomb, which makes him automatically the most courageous. Right. Now, there you go. So yeah, that's that. And then Melinda came in. I talked about the whole section with Melinda. I don't think I need to talk more about that. So that whole section happens. Right. Now, another thing I was not expecting is that Lloyd was here. Lloyd actually came here and he was in disguise. So, he was ready to go in and take care of the situation if need be. But, there was no need. Like, things resolved itself on its own. And yeah. And yeah, I'm guessing immediately when, this information was going, and the handler, again, I forgot her, Sylvia, right? Yeah. When Sylvia got that information and she was like kind of dispatching the agents to take care of the situation, even though Lloyd was on the other side, like he was in some other place doing his own thing, he also got that information and he immediately rushed back to help out. He was in disguise here, but he came here. But things were okay. They didn't need. Anya did get to know that Lloyd is here. He read their minds, so Right. Okay, now that was that. Now, another thing, Melinda left the mansion, you know, like Damien was there all alone after that. But she did cook for Damien, which she said, in her head, she was saying, I'm going to cook for him. But yeah, she did do that. And yeah, Damien was pretty happy about that. Now, that was the first half. The second half was just Anya coming to school and realizing how much popular they have become. Because, oh, I forgot to mention, all of them, Becky, Anya, Damien, and the other kid, I forgot his name. All of them got one Stella. So, that's pretty good. Like I said, I feel like they should have gotten at least two Stellas. Like, come on. Like, this is not that they have done something well academically or something. They actually were in the risk of their life. And, like, all of them showed bravery in front of a life and death situation. I feel like that at least worth two Stellas. Come on. Like, like you do good in tests and you get one Stella, and you go and, you've dealt with hostages. Like, I feel like you should get at least two of them in this situation. So yeah, either way, whatever, right. So yeah, now the second half was obviously like Anya, Damien, all of them realizing how much popular they have become. People are like talking more about Anya. They kind of used to like not really talk with her or anything up until now, because of Anya's antics and the fact that she was someone who was not that much of a like influential. Like, his parents were not that influential or whatever. I think something like that. Because of that, the kids really didn't really talk to her. But now everyone's like, oh, Anya, like. And seeing this, Anya's like, oh, you know what? Maybe this will help me, like, make uh, like movement towards my goal, my plan of bringing, like going to Damien's house. And then she came up with another plan, which was, if I'm not able to go to Damien's house, maybe he can come to my house. So, all those things she was thinking. Damien also admitted here that she is her friend, which again made Anya be like, oh, so we are besties, so can I go to your house? Right. Yeah. And then there was a section when Damien got pissed off so much that he starts calling Anya names, which made Anya sad, and she started crying, which made Damien feel guilty. So he apologized and said that he's going to bring cake, which made Anya happy again. Right. And then Anya started just completely lost the plot, because she was supposed to be making friends with Damien, but then she started competing with Damien, and then Damien again started like quarreling with her, and this whole thing continued. By the end of it, everyone just left, and these two just became late. That's how the whole thing ended. So yeah, that last part was pretty funny. It was just, like the kids being kids, I guess you could say. Right. And there you go. Yeah, so there you go. That was this episode. Now, like I said, obviously, I feel like the main highlight of today's episode was definitely Melinda and her behavior. So, I think we need more information about that at least, because it is very unusual how there's like so much of a disparity between her wanting the best for Damien and being worried about him, to such a complete shift in that, and her also thinking stuff like, oh, you are my curse, and oh, I hope you died in that hijack, stuff like this. It's like such a big disparity between these two thought process that it just makes it more concerning, because at this point I feel like this is like some sort of a disorder. That's why I said at first I said multiple personality disorder, but I'm pretty sure multiple personality disorder doesn't work like, maybe bipolar, maybe that, but this is not multiple personality disorder, because obviously if you have like split personality, it is different than this. Like, like when one personality is active, the other one will not be active. Like, like your original personality is there, and then there's the other one or two more personalities which takes over. However, you won't remember what these other two personalities are like, but these two personalities will know what you are like. Like the main personality will be oblivious to the other two. That is like more like a split personality. However, what was happening here was like a two different set of like two different thought process, which was at the end of the two spectrums in such a degree that it seems like it's multiple personality, but it's not, because she was having both the thoughts at the same time in her head. So that is not multiple personality. I don't think so. um this is something else. I Is this like bipolarity? Okay, you know what, let me just check what is the actual definition of bipolar. Bipolar disorder: mental health condition characterized by extreme mood swings that include both manic or hypomanic episodes of depressive episodes. uh I don't think this is mood swing either. Like the thing is, this is so weird because this wasn't mood swing. Mood swing is like, oh, when you're feeling something and your mood swings to something completely different. So it's only like one like mood which is predominant on top of the other. When you're having this like a good mood, then that's good mood. When you're having a bad mood, it's a bad mood. It's a swing. That's why it's like bipolar, like from one pole to the other. It swings. This, however, is so different. She was having both the thoughts at the same time on her head. You saw that section where Anya was reading her mind and she had these blue like thoughts where they were all like good. Like, oh, I'm so concerned about Damien. Like, I'm glad that he's okay. I love him so much. I'm going to make him food. And then we had the red ones where she was like, oh, I hope he died in the hijacking. Like, he's my curse and all these things. She was having both those thoughts at the same time in the same place. So I don't think you can call this bipolar as well, because it's not a mood swing, it's there. I'm not sure what this is. What the hell is going on? Like maybe this has some other term for it which I'm not aware of, this sort of a thing. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is like an actual some sort of a like like a disorder or something, like some sort of a mental disorder. I'm not sure. Either way, um, let's wait and see. That is it. That was my reaction to episode number 9 of Spy Family Season 3. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.